I can't breathe. My brother could very well be the next George Floyd, gone but never forgotten. Another boy given as ghetto black prophet. I can't breathe. The statistics of our men being criminalized by the police, choking the life out of me. TV claiming he shouldn't have resisted or worn that white tee, but we are not a dying breed because of our sagging pants or our hoodies. Our skin a lifting hate, never whitewashed enough to be human, never human enough to be human. We are born and then thug and then prisoner and then dead. I can't see peace in the eyes of my uncle getting his skull bashed in by the police. Malcolm X said by any means, and I'm starting to step into his ideology. We've pleaded 400 years for equality, but right now, today, there are few words left in me. I can't believe that Black Lives Matter is controversial, like all lives matter or cop lives matter. A police officer is a chosen lifestyle. When he goes home to his family, he can take off his uniform and be safe. I can't remove my black skin. I can't remove the deep-seated hate within you telling me that racism is a thing of the past. Like my grandmother doesn't get PTSD every time she sees a black boy killed on TV. Modern day lynchings on TV. Black bodies turn fertilizer in our streets. George Floyd, you're in our hearts for infinity. We have a common enemy because we don't know who's next. We gotta close our fists and open up our mouths. Black on black uprising before there's none of us left.
America was built from the sweat, blood, and tears of minorities. Yet we are still treated differently, like we're nothing. White people are able to protest with guns in police officers' faces.
Are the same protests and riots that white people have been using for their own advantages.
When people are protesting Black Lives Matter, it's different. Oh, okay. Make it make sense.
Look, it's almost summertime, so y'all know what that means. I'm finna show off this body and chase this bag and cash this check, but you know I can't really cash this check because if I cash this check, it's gonna end with a knee on my neck, and at that point, I can't breathe. Trayvon couldn't breathe. I mean, Michael couldn't breathe. I mean, Sandra couldn't breathe. I mean, Ahmaud. I mean, George couldn't breathe. How many more of us need to be exterminated for just participating in the mundane parts of life? But it's all right. Because all y'all care about is masks violating your rights.
You know, something that I think is really interesting throughout all of this is that why isn't the same thought and effort about stopping a virus to save people's lives not there when it comes to stopping police brutality against African Americans in this country?
Institutionalized racism doesn't usually make it into the discussions about problems that face the black community. COVID-19 has killed black people at a disproportionate rate. However, the media places blame on black communities for having more underlying conditions.
Everything that's happening right now speaks to the desperation of the black community to stop these senseless murders in America. White people and non-supporters of Black lives need to understand how personal this is to our community. When I watch these videos, I think about how it's my brother, how it's my uncle, how it's my father, how it's my cousins, how it's my friends. We need to come together and we need to put a stop to this.
I feel like as far as it goes with Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Ahmaud Arbery's murders, I feel like the way that the public has reacted is being very misconstrued by the media as violent and coming out of nowhere, as if this is just a new thing. But police brutality has been very apparent in our country since the police was created.
George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. These black innocent lives were taken at the hands of their white oppressors. Police officers serve and protect They haven't served or protected the Black people of America. We haven't felt safe around them.
The racism.
Are they going to pull us over? Are they going to just stop us for no reason?
And things like that in the police system is nothing new, which is why people are reacting the way they're reacting, because this has been going on since forever and people are tired of it. People have given up trying to work within the system and they're now taking matters into their own hands.
We have begun to protest. We have begun to fight for our lives.
Which is, in my opinion, completely appropriate because it shouldn't be happening.
Because our lives matter.
I am pretending that the world revolves around me. I am pretending the world is full of peace and education. And I am pretending the kid in the corner did not just say the N-word. I am pretending the color of my skin does not harm the way Americans see me. And I am pretending to smile at the man who just passed me so I seem more controlled. I am pretending to care about U.S. history when the things being taught are whitewashed. I am pretending to like my long, straight hair, and I am pretending to want my body slim when my thighs want to stretch. I am pretending to like the popular artists even if they appropriate my culture. I am pretending to care about a country that does not care about me. I am pretending to live in a country that does not accept me. I am pretending to be myself in this country. I am pretending this is my country.
I wanted to talk about what it means to be a Black teen in America. I've been culturally appropriated. I've been told that I act too Black or I act too white because I go to a predominantly white school, and I've always been told to talk proper by my grandparents, but also to talk slang by my friends, which is also just so polarizing. I never know what's my real voice. I've been told that my hair looks too Black sometimes and it's too kinky and too curly. It's really hard to be a teen sometimes when you're Black.
As Black teenagers, we have to stick together. We have to fight together. We have to stay focused on why we're fighting, why we're rioting, why we're looting, why we're protesting. Stay focused on the goal. It's pretty sick that we have to convince people that we're worthy of a life, of a future.
They tell us to stand while they kneel on our necks, taking the breath out of us at the mark so we can't even get set. We haven't had a breath in almost 400 years. So what is not clear about us being human too? You know, I think they want to decide what we do because they know we'd overcome if given a fair feud. White protesters are left completely untouched, hands filled with AR-15s, and Black protesters are left completely unseen.
There you are, a Black individual, born yet you didn't ask to be. They couldn't blame you for that, right? Before you take your first breath of air, you're suffocated. You're a statistic they expect you to follow. You're an item with a label on the back, a label that says prey. Not prey in the sense of food for a predator, though food you are. Not prey in the sense of game, though played you are. And not prey in the sense of a kill, though dead you might soon be. No, prey in the sense that you are personally victimized. Prey in the sense that you're hunted simply for the color of your skin. Pray in the sense that you pray not to be one. There you are, a young Black individual, falling prey to the predator until that light you had is smothered and shadowed in the distance.
Think what it means to be Black in America.
What it means to be a Black man.
What does it mean to be Black? To understand that we fight for our rights.
He's being brilliant.
To have dignity, to have pride in my skin color.
Innovative.
To show our pride through different hairstyles, different music, through different styles, different tastes.
Creators also at the same time also means trouble.
We cannot do the same thing that everybody else can do. We have to wake up every day wondering if we're going to make it home. We have to pay attention to how we dress and how we act.
Every day when we walk out the house, a white man fears us, our ability to become great, and the system wants us to fail.
Something has to change.
Black people are, fighting for justice. In these times, in these unprecedented times, we're still standing up. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna back down. We're not gonna let anybody just walk over us. You know what I'm saying? Just step over Black people. It's not acceptable. We're calling these people, saying their names, protesting for them, fighting for justice, because without no justice, there's no peace.
I just don't know what to do anymore. When we live our lives, they kill us. When we peacefully protest, they kill us. Encircle me and a group of protesters. Close off the CTA. Raise the bridges. Connect batons with black flesh. I can't breathe, it's the tear gas. It's the officer's knee in my neck. Corona cutting off my oxygen. My white friend's silence choking me to death. Let's keep this same energy in a month, in a year, when there isn't a viral video and a black man to martyr. Let's keep this same energy when it's a black woman, when it's Breonna.
Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor!
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
We can't even sit in our own homes without being targeted or killed simply based off the color of our skin, as we've seen in the Breonna Taylor case. Being black in the United States right now is probably one of the most terrifying things.
I am terrified of police. We cannot have countless black lives being lost, being taken as they are, with no one being held accountable.
Those who are in charge have constantly shown us that they do not value our lives and that we're expendable.
Government would rather have riot, violent, practical war everywhere, as opposed to holding cops accountable for what they are doing to black people and reforming the criminal justice system.
As I look and I see these riots and protests, I have hope. But I do charge the black community to continue to riot and continue to protest and continue to march. We cannot treat this situation like we've treated all of the other cases where we march and riot for a month, let it blow over, and go back to our normal lives. We need to apply a constant pressure of those who are in authority. We need to let them know that enough is enough and we're not accepting no for an answer. We need justice to be served.
Black people are tired of dealing with racism and discrimination based on their skin color. And when we air these concerns through peaceful protests, taking a knee, or simply saying Black Lives Matter, we are met with hate speech, tear gas, abuse, rubber bullets, real bullets, and losing our job, our livelihood. We are fighting for the bare minimum, the human rights we should already have as U.S. citizens. It is disheartening to see a black person killed every day for just being black. It doesn't seem to matter the family they have at home or their education, their job, or who they know. It all comes down to the sole fact that their skin color is perceived as a threat. George, Ahmaud, and Breonna, they are not the first ones to die from solely being black. But the buildup of all these deaths on racist police officers' hands has pushed the black community to their breaking point. I have dealt with racism and discrimination on multiple accounts. No one should not want to be their race or have their skin color because of how society treats them. I support the protests. The peaceful protests were actually peaceful when they started off. They slowly became riots when they were met with racist police officers that abused their power. We have been told for so long that we do not deserve something that all U.S. citizens should have, and we are sick and tired. Black Lives Matter, period, point blank.
What I would give to live in your bubble, a world where a peaceful protest could remain peaceful without police intervention, a world where their simple mistakes wouldn't rob a family of their husband, brother, sister, wife, mother, daughter, or son. What I would give to live in a bubble of privilege that I could pretend didn't even exist, the same way you do.
There's a lot of frustration, anger, and sadness in this world that we live in, this country that we live in.
Terrorists hide behind their badges as they kill black people daily. They try to instill trauma and fear within us by kind of instilling this notion that our lives don't matter.
I've been very prideful of seeing my community stand together, especially young African American people.
During this time, it's so important to remind yourself and others that you matter. Your life matters, your families matter, your businesses matter, and your futures matter.
No human being deserves to be treated like that. Black, white, no matter what, but especially our people, because we've done so much for this country. I definitely believe in protesting. I believe in making your voice heard. I don't condone all the looting that's happening in our own neighborhoods.
It's been hard for me to deal with the disappointment of both police brutality while also seeing with my own two eyes Black people looting our own businesses and communities. While I stand with this movement,
I do not think that looting in our own communities is the answer.
Because they're not going to fix the damage that has been happening in our own neighborhoods, and we're going to be left with the damage. They're going to fix downtown, but they're not going to fix up our neighborhoods.
Regardless, this does not take away from the movement. I don't know when this is going to end, but I just know as long as there's no justice, there will be no peace.
I hope everybody is really trying to stay strong, and I hope that you all do your research because it's very important.
Creating solutions starts with understanding the racist system in the United States that caused these issues.
We know they are definitely against us, and that's just a fact. And so now it's time to figure out, now that we know that, how do we move forward?
I just wanted to use this platform to say two things. That one, making sure that our Black youth are staying informed and educated on what's going on, whether that means reading unbiased articles, checking social media, watching the news.
I wanted to talk about mental health. With everything going on, it's so easy to be engrossed in the negativity.
I know that during these times, it can be very easy to be overwhelmed, depressed, and frustrated with watching how the media is portraying Black people and with how this country is undervaluing the Black body.
It's like the first thing we see when we wake up and the last thing we see when we go to sleep, and it's what we dream about. And throughout the day, we're constantly getting updates and we're constantly looking out for each other.
And I wanted to make sure that we are staying healthy, whether that means stepping outside for some fresh air every once in a while, unplugging from social media from time to time because it can become very toxic, and just making sure we're still eating right, because we have to remember that we are the future and we are going to be retelling this story in our way.
So I just want to encourage everybody to stay prayed up, stay strong, always remember who you are and whose you are.
I'm going to be singing about not giving up the fight, no matter how you feel, just keep going. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I chose to sing that song because I know right now as a Black community, there's kind of a loss of hope. For me, that hope is God, and I wanted to spread that hope.
They hate us because they ain't us. They want us to believe the pictures that they paint us when we handed them the brush, and they glue us in place and want us to get over the fact that we are stuck with the fact that my brothers are dying and my sisters is crying, and our mamas is just trying to make sure their sons get home living. But I turn on the TV and I'm livid. Another unarmed Black man killed after getting his ass beat. First degree murder, nigga, you don't gotta ask me, because they think he wrote a bad check. Even if he did, that don't justify a knee to the neck. But it's funny how white people don't have a problem with this knee, but they hated Kaepernick when he stepped down.
The recent death of George Floyd has really showed the pattern of systematic racism that has occurred within America. And definitely the time for action is now. We need to rally together to continue to push the message.
Ode to the little black boy that lives in America. You are a trophy to the monsters in today's society. A game that they play, say erase the black race, a little black boy that has to be hidden and protected by all means necessary because his skin complexion is a disgrace. You're supposed to be seen, you ain't supposed to be heard. Don't scream, don't shout. If you drop something, leave that shit on the ground. So listen up and listen close. If you're not home before the street lights turn on, you're still an hour too late. They'll say you look suspicious even with no complaint. And if they stop you, be respectful because of course, they're armed and afraid. And if they call you the N-word, please don't fill with rage. Because we live in a world today.
It's so upsetting to me to see Black people fight for centuries and we still not receive the justice that we deserve. People are protesting, people are rioting, a lot of people are making their voices heard about the issue, and I am really upset that the first instinct is to call in the National Guard and other people of power to basically harm and brutalize these people who are just trying to voice their opinions.
And even when we go out to protest against police brutality, it continues to occur.
I fear to protest myself just because I don't know if I'm going to get sprayed with pepper spray or pushed down because of what I believe in.
I just think we just need
to come together as a black community and rise up together as a unit.
It would be much easier to get change if everyone was united.
Just have justice be served as a powerful unit and show people that black lives do matter and that we do have a voice and that we can overcome these issues regarding police brutality.
Something that we can remember as a generation who will be in their careers in a couple years is to never forget where you came from and always remember to give back to your community and remember your purpose. Your purpose is not only to achieve your goals, but to give back to your community and plant those seeds of hope in the youth to make sure that we all rise to be successful and become the change that we want to see.
Being silent during this time is just absolutely not the right answer. Like, nothing is going to change if everyone is just quiet. I'm fed up. I'm disappointed. I am completely tired of all of this.
All lives cannot matter until Black Lives Matter.
All lives don't matter until Black Lives matter.
There comes a time when silence becomes betrayal. So I'm speaking out. We're speaking out as the youth. The next generation you'll try to silence, but you won't. We speak out for Michael Brown, Pamela Turner, Walter Scott, Freddie Gray, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and countless others. We speak out so no one else has to become a hashtag. We speak out so there will be no more faces airbrushed on white tees in loving memory. We speak out against a system filled with corruption, a country built on the backs of those they protect the least. We speak out because we didn't have a choice in its creation, but we will lead its replacement. We speak out to end paid leaves of absence from murderers. We speak out to end one-sided media campaigns that paint us as barbarians and you as saviors. We speak out for our future, for our children, so they can live in a world where they won't be stopped and frisked on suspicion, threatened without probable cause. We raise our voices and demand to be heard. We won't be silenced because we speak out.
There's a man going round taking names. He has taken my father's name, and it's left my heart in pain. There's a man going round taking names, going round. There's a man going round taking names.